Hey friends, in this video I wanted to share with you the size comparisons of 4 different machines. Most of them are Cricuts. I have one silhouette machine, so I wanted to share with you guys the size comparisons as well as differences in my first opinions on each of them. So stay tuned and I'm going to talk all about them. Alright friends, so in this video I wanted to share with you my thoughts and opinions on each of these different machines because I've got so many of them. I figured, as you guys are shopping and comparing, I want to make sure that you guys make the best decision for your craft needs or whatever needs you do with these cutting machines, okay? So first off, I want to talk about the Cricut Joy. I feel like I know that Cricut markets it as an accompaniment to the Explore Air in the Cricut Maker, but I will say this is the least expensive version of the machines. It doesn't have a lot of buttons, and it can draw and it can cut, but you can't add additional blades to it. What's really nice is that if you're just wanting to cut like vinyl shirts and also just do some crafts at home and your size is going to be bigger than like 12 or 24 inches, then this machine might be doable for you. Honestly, if you're not trying to make anything fancy, Cricut Joy is awesome. But I will tell you that they market it as an accompaniment to one of the other machines, meaning like you should have one of the other machines before you include this. It just makes it portable and easy to use wherever you go, because these machines are kind of a beast. These other machines are like heavy. You wouldn't want to move them anywhere. But the Cricut Joy, if you like to craft like in the living room when you're with kids, or in the kitchen when you're trying to create pantry labels, which I have a video on, this Cricut Joy might be the best for you. And you can open it. There aren't a lot of buttons, so you control it using Design Space, which is their software. I love this little machine just because I can bring it upstairs with the kids whenever I need to craft or just cut stuff really quickly and easily without having to hook up to this big bad boy. Okay, so next I've got the Cricut Explore Air 2. That's a step up from the Joy. This is the Cricut Joy. This is the Cricut Explore Air 2. And what I love about this is that it guides you. Like, the software guides you on all that stuff. What it can't do is cut chipboard. So you can't cut chipboard with this, and you can't cut fabric with this unless the fabric has bonding or backing behind it. So I would recommend this if you want a step up from this and want to be able to cut about, I don't know, over 100 different materials. Like if you're cutting a cardstock or just heavy pieces of cardstock, you can certainly do that with this machine. Now, if you're wanting to cut chipboard, you would want to use this machine, which is like, I think, twice as heavy. And I'll list out a blog post that compares the two machines side by side. But as you can see, I'm going to put the Cameo aside because I feel like this Cameo, which is a different line, it's called the Silhouette Cameo. Silhouette is the brand and Cameo is like the product. And this is a Cameo 3. And I'll show you the differences here in a minute, but this is comparable to that one, okay? So let's talk about the Cricut line first. So the Cricut line, this is the Explore Air 2, and this is the Maker. The Maker is a lot heavier. It can get up to, I think, 2.4 millimeters. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And if you want to cut like really heavy stuff and emboss stuff, and like I even think it can do engraving, you'll want this machine, okay? So as compared to the Cricut Explore Air 2, I mean, look at the size difference, right? And then also a lot of the controls, this doesn't have a lot of knobs to it, unlike this one. See how this one has knobs to guide you? Like if you wanted to cut poster board or bonded fabric or cardstock, you just press it, like you just spin this wheel and then hit the Cricut button, versus everything with the Maker is controlled in the software, okay? As you can see, like in this one versus this one, I mean, you've got the area for the pen, and then you got the area for the cutting item, right? And then it's got the same compartments. This one opens up both sides. This one just has separate sides. You can see that. But overall, if you're wanting something heavy duty, go ahead and spend money on this one, which is about $75 to $100 depending on if you find it on sale. So that is the difference between these two machines, and obviously cutting and power and all that stuff go along with the Maker. Again, this is the lower version, the Joy, which runs around 150-ish. This one is the Explore Air 2, which you can find around $250, and this one is the Maker, which is around $399. Now, if you go to a different line, so a product line, meaning kind of like Apple versus Android, right? You've got the silhouettes. the Silhouette Cameo, they've got a ton of products, right? The Silhouette has a bunch of products, but the most popular of them is the Cameo, and the Cameo is comparable to the Explorer. All right, so this is the Silhouette Cameo. All right, so this is what it looks like, and that's how it's different. Now, as you can see, there's a panel here where you press a bunch of buttons. The Silhouette Studio is the software that you use with the Cameo. Now, I will tell you that I feel as though the Studio is a little bit more intuitive to use, like the software is a little bit more intuitive, and it gives you a lot of like flexibility and variety on where you can move items, if I'm being completely honest. But I will say that with the Cricut machine, if you're newer and you're not as software savvy and you need some guidance on how to cut, how to basically import files and all that, I feel like the Design Space, which is the Cricut line, like software, will allow you to be guided a little bit more thoroughly than the Silhouette machine will. Now, in terms of cut accuracy, I've not tested that, so I am not going to talk on that at all. But from a user perspective, if you're really good with software, I feel like you might prefer the Silhouette more, especially if you like to use like software like Photoshop or any type of graphic software. I think you'll like this one more. But if you are not as tech savvy, this is a machine for you, okay? And I feel like with the product line though, there's a huge difference. With the Cricut line, it's kind of like Apple products, right? With Apple products, you've got like their line of phones, and then their like cases and like accessories and all that good stuff with like the Apple lineup. Now, Cricut has the same thing. They have an amazing product line from blanks. Blanks are basically like what you, they're blank templates of like a shirt or a coaster or any type of like pillow, just home decor stuff. They've got a huge line of blanks that you can use. Silhouette, not so much. It's basically go find your own blanks and use our machine. But I feel like Cricut definitely does stand by the product. I think Silhouette does too. But at the same time, they have a huge and expansive product line of just accessories upon accessories and like markers and all this stuff that are especially made to work with their products. You'll find that a lot of Silhouette folks will use a lot of Cricut items. And for example, this thing right here that I bought for this Silhouette, this is an adapter to use a Cricut pin with this adapter. So you can see that like Cricut has a ton of different like accessory options that Silhouette folks will buy adapters for to use because their product line is just outstanding. Like I can't recommend them enough. But from an ease of use from software, I would go with this one. But because like everything works with Cricut, I often use their software because it's just easier to use their products with their software. So there you have it. That's the comparison. I mean, if you're comparing side by side, first off, what I would say is think about the things and projects that you'll be cutting often, right? And so could you use an X-Acto knife to cut that chipboard instead of buying a machine that's $100 more? Maybe. How often are you going to be cutting chipboard? So those are the things that you have to consider. And if you're not going to be cutting chipboard often, I would recommend doing the Explore Air 2. If you are wanting something easy to use and intuitive, go with this one. But if you want flexibility on what you cut and how you cut, use the Cameo. So there you have it. That is my comparison of the 4 machines that I have, that I've used. Again, if I had to pick a favorite, it would be probably the Maker, followed by this one, followed by this one. So that's my own personal opinion with being tech savvy and understanding how to use a lot of different software. So if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to comment below. I'll help you answer them. I have a lot of tutorials on my site. Go ahead and check out my blog on the entertaining section of my blog. I have tons of tutorials, tons of projects that you can do. If you like videos like this, make sure you click on this like button and then make sure you subscribe and click on the bell notification so the next time I upload a video, you are alerted to that. I love creating videos like this for you guys. If you guys have questions or want me to create videos on specific things around these machines, please feel free to let me know. Thank you so much, and leave a comment if you guys have any questions. Bye guys.